How's it going out there? It's your man Nico B. This is the Blackeffect Enterprise, and this is episode of the Blackeffect. I want to go ahead and talk about this. In Kinley, North Carolina, the entire police department has resigned, the entire police department has left. Not one cop, not just the chief of police, not just the person working at the desk. The entire police department has left after they hired a black town manager in North Carolina. And this is in a small town. And this town has 1,500 residents, just over 1,500 residents. And this is Kinley, North Carolina. This is pretty telling, and I want black women to really listen to this. This is because this is to help you, black woman. Like I don't want to just pick on you, sister. This is why I do these videos. I do these videos because I have love for black women. I am black, and I want them just to be better. I've seen black women in a lot better state, man. And I was rooting for them in that state that they were in. But I worked with black women. I've worked with them. And I will say that a lot of them, not all, but a lot of them have bad attitudes. Same way, and that's what anybody on the job, a lot of people can have a bad attitude. But I'm saying, like, from my experience, and I'm not talking about the regular workers. Like the regular black women workers, they tend to be fine. I'm talking about the ones with just a smidgen, a little piece of authority. A minuscule piece of authority. Those women go crazy. I've dealt with it. I'm telling you from experience. Like they micromanage, like they're annoying. They always feel like somebody trying to challenge them. They feel like, and don't let them, and this is a double whammy, don't let you be a black man and then be under them, or even a white man. Like white men not gonna fare good under a lot of black women leadership because they always gonna constantly be hitting them with that guilt trip stuff. Like black men are not on, when they go to work or they doing their thing, they ain't worried about no slavery or what happened back in the day. As long as you not disrespecting them, as long as you just being respectful and paying niggas what they supposed to get, and you living in modern times, you living in the present, black men will live in the present with you. But a lot of times it's a built-in it's like a go-to victimhood mentality with black women. Like they want to be double victims. Now, it's not all, but again, this is telling. Like the whole police department quit. It's not just me talking. And this police department consisted of white men, black people, just everybody. Everybody quit. Everybody who worked there. And it said, let me give you the full information. It says last week the entire police department in Kinley, North Carolina resigned, citing a hostile work environment. Less than 2 months after Justine Jones, a black woman, began her role as the town's newly selected city manager. And I mean, it says, this is a business owner says that it's just weird for us not to have any information as to what to expect. Are we going to have police? Are we going to have a town manager? Like the people don't even know, like they don't even know if they're going to be protected. So right now, that town, pray for that town. Like my prayers go out to the people out there and everything. Dudes and the men out there got to really hold it down and protect their own, because right now they town is like one of them western towns, Tombstone. It's like, you ain't got no law enforcement. You have no covering or protection. That's never a good thing, because there's no vacuums in this world, in this universe. Like the space will get filled by criminals. You don't want cops. Well, you're gonna be under a criminal regime. You pick one of the two. You know what I'm saying? You could be under a regime of justice, and that comes with righteous men. You employing righteous men. You getting behind righteous men. You being one of those righteous men. Or you can just give it all up and just be under the criminal regime and be under their mercy. You know what I'm saying? Begging them and doing whatever you got to do to survive with them, working for them, being a slave. Cause that's just how that's gonna work. So it's a weird time, I understand, for that town, but they should have consulted with the people, and that's what the business owner is saying. Said they frustrated because the town has been keeping the resident out of the loop, the residents out of the loop of any developments that's going on. That's why I say the local elections is a lot more important to me than the presidential elections and all of that. I ain't worried about all of that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really gotta worry about your area. You know, this area's police, like how Texas is and Dallas. Like, I'm trying to it starts there, man. You know, really start getting in, talking to your mayor, talking to the people in your town. Really actually start doing that. Going to meet, that's the important stuff. Quit worrying about foolish stuff. Go meet with them, chop it up with them, and find out what's going on. Make them be transparent with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they work for you, and that's what we should be worried. That's how the mindset we should have. I don't care what color you are. But honestly, they try to make it seem in the media, they try to make it seem like none of this was due to this being a black woman. No, all of it. This was why they quit. CNN obtained 8 resignation letters in total, consisting of a longtime police chief, Josh Gibson, 4 full-time officers, 1 part-time officer, and 2 town clerks. The letters are similar in language, most referencing a stressful work environment, though they don't provide any details about the allegedly hostile workplace, nor do they explicitly blame Jones. They trying to just give her the benefit of the doubt. They don't just want to come out and blame her and all that, but they basically saying it is because of her, and they ain't trying to deal. They done. They don't want to deal with no more bullshit. They don't want to deal with extra bullshit on the top of putting their life on the line, man. So they in turn just quit. They quit. That's what it is. They resign. They ain't try to say that it was her. They like, go ahead and do your job, man. Go ahead. You got the job now, but we ain't gonna be working for you. That's basically what they said. The job is yours, but now you have to go find some new employees. I mean, you got to remember also who men are, like, and who these men are who usually are on the police force. These are usually men of war. These are usually men who been to war, or at least been to the military and experienced the regime, they experience the type of environment that's pretty much a testosterone driven how do I say this? It's a testosterone driven honor system based it's an environment, man, that's pretty much that's for men, just for lack of better terms. It's war is more suited for men. You know what I'm saying? So they come from these environments of male leadership and of male camaraderie and of putting their life on the line for their brothers. Yes, it's some women there too, but it doesn't matter. Those women aren't stronger than the men. Most of the time, the leadership in the military is male leadership. Because the males have survived these harsh environments. They've survived them through their strength, and some women have, you know what I'm saying? But it's very rare. This is rare because it's just not in female nature. It's just some things that God has ordained you cannot change. You may want to, you may have all these fantasies, but you can't change what God has ordained. What God has put on the earth, that's just how it is. Man is built to be stronger. He has more, he's more acclimated and more suited for war. And for, for defense and things like that. He's built for it. And that's where these cops and police come from. So they not readily just gonna want to fall under First of all, they really don't readily want to follow the female leadership. Number two, they don't want to fall under under foolish female leadership. They don't want to follow under a nagging, clamorous woman's leadership. Like God said that that's better for a man to be in the corner of a housetop than, around a woman who acting like that. And so you definitely don't want to work with her. You know what I'm saying? You gotta that's your environment where you make your money. You don't want it to be no micromanaging. And I'm gonna give you an example. So this is the police chief that I told you. He resigned also, and it said Gibson placed the blame. His name is Mr. Gibson here. He placed the blame on Jones for his resignation. This is the police chief. He placed the blame both in Facebook posts and since he made in private with since been made private and in an exclusive interview with Fox News. So he's already told everybody this. And this is the chief. So you can imagine how everybody else feel. They didn't want to incriminate her. They didn't want to tell, just tell on her. They just wanted to just go ahead and get out of there. But this is what the police chief said. Said she came in, first of all, start giving us tasks and all these projects to do all the time. Pretty much micromanaging. Pretty much coming in, throwing her right around, trying to change everything up from the way that it's been working like clockwork, trying to reinvent the wheel and micromanaging. Say we only have 5 officers, unfortunately. I was working double shifts at the time to try to keep up with officer safety and be there with the officers in case something happened, said Gibson, who claimed the manager wrote him up for being late if he wasn't sitting at the desk. Among other things, she wrote me up for going to businesses and talking with businesses. She wrote me up for talking with council members that I've known for 20 years. So she basically coming there harassing the dude, right? Micromanaging, trying to reinvent the wheel from the way things have been working for years upon years. And she comes in here writing people up, doing all type of stuff, just basically, like I said, being obnoxious, being a micromanager, trying to slave drive. Nobody have time for that. People will tell you to take this job, take that badge, and shove it where the sun do not shine. And I'm tired. I mean, that's on any job. It don't matter what it is. So you basically have the police department. They've disbanded. So now the town has no police department. The Johnston County Sheriff's Office who already serves Kenley, is gonna have to increase their presence in that town now because they don't have a police department. Everyone quit, and people are just they're confused. They don't realize a lot of people in that town don't understand how these things work. But I do. I get them. I get how these things work. Men just for the most part, bro, from the mindset of these men, where they come from, and you get a person coming in here and immediately they start with the micromanaging, like they just already know what's coming. Like it's not just me who understands this. They already know. Has nothing to do with misogynistic behaviors or whatever. Has nothing to do with race. It doesn't even have anything to do with race. This is just how men are wired. And again, in this type of environment, you have to make decisions that you have to make tactical decisions that work best for the people you have working there. You just trying to fill these quotas, just trying to hire black women, because you think diversity and you trying to think that this is a popular thing to do just for the look. You doing it for the look, because there's many people who's more qualified probably. You know what I'm saying? I already know that, or has similar credentials. I ain't gonna say more qualified, and salute to her for being, for her credentials. But I'm pretty sure she hadn't been to war. I'm pretty sure she hadn't picked up, had to kill a man or, had to do some stuff like you need people who tried and true in those things to be able to understand what these men and women go through on a daily basis. Not just somebody who want to just come bark orders and all who doing a bunch of stuck in litigations and a bunch of paperwork and filing paperwork. Like, look, nah, you ain't the one. But this is confused people. Like I said, just imagine in the town how confused that you will be. Your whole police department just choose to up and quit one day. This is again, I think And I think just because, like I said, black women, they're not um they hadn't been really used to being in positions of power. Let's be honest. Like, let's be real. They weren't in positions of power, like, in the job, like, since ever. So now when they get these positions of power, sometimes it corrupts the mindset. Sometimes it makes and what power does can make a toxic person worse. And people see a lot of black women being toxic in society and argumentative and aggressive, and they think that this will make it worse by giving them power. They already saw what she's done. She's already started doing that by micromanaging, like I said, trying to write dudes up just for the smallest thing. So, hey, man, like I said, prayers go out to the town. Hopefully they can, the sheriff's department there in Johnston County will be able to hold them down. Like I said, the men, hopefully they'll get a backbone and just start holding their own self down, and don't, because the criminal element is coming. Like, the longer and longer you be without a police department, the more and more, the stronger and stronger the criminal element is gonna build up, and it's gonna be harder to get it out. You know what I'm saying? This is what police do, because a lot of, like I said, people are too lazy for the most part to police their own. So with that being said, this is a crazy story, man. It's pretty it's pretty telling, man. You tell me what you think in the comments. This your man, Nico B, Blackeffect. Gone.